Good morning, and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early AF at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, and then 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Today, we are talking about challenges and productivity. Wow, how challenges can actually serve you in a way that can be very powerful and productive and really help you to become who you need to become by unleashing heretofore skill sets that would not have essentially come to the fore unless you had been challenged in some particular way. So we have a really interesting show planned today. So thanks for being here. So let's start. I should say though, if you are new, please go to hit that subscribe button, become a subscriber right now, and get all these videos for free. I did say free. 1, 2, 3, 4, free. You can also go to productivethroughjoy.com. I'm having fun early in the morning here. Let me clear my throat. You can also go to productivethroughjoy.com to see about us. We speak to groups, schools, and organizations about being productive through joy. We have a really innovative and powerful series of programs and workshops based upon the idea of narrative, right? Narrative framed by narrative, because everyone's life has told a story up to this point. Everyone's life is telling the story right now, and everyone's life is going to tell a story when it's all written, right? And so we help individuals think through and work through via a series of approaches. What story have they been telling? What story are they telling right now with their life, and what do they really want to tell in their through their life story? So really interesting approach. Again, go to productivethroughjoy.com, see about us. You'll see a bit of those that information. Today, again, we're talking about, in a matter of moments, about challenges, how challenges have helped to really define many of our stories, and how interesting it is to think about that. You know, how challenge, as you think back over your life, as Reverend Michael Beckwith says, if you think back on your life and look at who you've become now, many of us were shaped by the things we've gone through, right? So, and it isn't always best to wait until challenge to shape you, but to learn from those prior challenges and then to take those lessons and put them forward in a preemptive way. Meaning, don't wait until you have to crisis to change or to grow or to seek change. As a sidebar, change is one of the things that I have learned through challenge. That as opposed to waiting for some change to happen, to actually seek change out, and that's really a smart way, even when it's uncomfortable. Because I think for African American people especially, we have to go through so much. Everyone goes through. Life is hard for everyone. That's my experience. Life is a challenge for everyone. That's my experience. But definitely walking through the planet as an African American person, good luck. Good luck. You're gonna go through it. There's no choice about it. Because we do live in a world of really pretty virulent anti-blackness, and when the standard is not you, even when you're excellent, that works against you as well in some ways, because it creates such jealousy when you operate outside the bounds of people's expectations. So I know black folks know what I'm talking about exactly. Black professionals especially. Ooh, it's a lot to deal with, as we know. But the point is that everyone has challenges. The unique impact of race, at least in our country, when you are from a group that is not a part of the majority group, it makes your life more complicated. So, if you have a good understanding of challenge, you can really help yourself. So, thanks for being here. We have a really interesting show. Let me say a few words about myself for those of you who are new. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. I'm the author of the New York Times bestseller, Raising Fences, which was a Today Show Book of the Month pick. The actor Will Smith bought the film rights to that particular book and hired me to write the screenplay. I'm also the author of the acclaimed historical novel Americus, which is set 13 miles from Ferguson, where, of course, Michael Brown was murdered. God bless him and his family. And the conflagration, of course, that ensued happened there as well. That book explores the intersection of race, family, and violence in the American family. A really, really interesting book. I'm on a book just came out in October on Third World Press, iconic Third World Press. So we're on the book tour for that still. And also my next book, Animating Black and Brown Liberation, A Theory of American Literatures, which is a book that explores the intersection of essentially activism and literature. The book came out April the 10th. So we are on tour for two books right now. On tour for two books. We're coming to you. We'll be at the Kentucky Literary Festival in Lexington. We'll be at the the Brattleboro Literary Festival in Vermont. We'll be at Northern Illinois University in Chicago. We'll be here in California at the Pasadena Literary Festival called Lit Fest. We'll be at the Leimert Park Book Fair, which is also in California. So look for us. We're coming. Look for me. I'm coming. I'm coming. I want the. Look for me. I'm coming to you soon. Yeah. So let's dive into the top. Oh, I should also say that my educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergraduate, my master's from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature from the University of California at Riverside. I am currently a professor of English Lit at LMU here in Los Angeles because I'm an expert at being productive, right? I don't say that to brag or boast, but people are oftentimes surprised to hear about my level of productivity, which is why, given my background, right? I am the product of a young girl who was violated in a very difficult situation at age 16, gave birth to me at age 17, and subsequently gave me up for adoption. Gave me up for adoption to an amazing single divorcee at the age of a month. So at the time, no biological father, no adopted father. Listen, difficult times for the young MD. Yet as Cool Modi famously said, how you like me now? And if I can be this productive, given those challenges, and do so through joy, we know many of you can also be productive, which is what really inspires our show. We thank you for being here. So let's dive in. Guys, we're talking about challenges in productivity today, And point one is that you have to just know, because of how life is organized, is that challenges are going to come. That's just what it is. You live long enough, you're like, well, I'm going through a challenge now, and I'll probably go through some more. So just embracing the challenge. If you don't embrace the challenge, when challenges are going to come, that's not a good scenario to be in. I'm not saying you need to look for the challenge. I'm not saying you need to. I'm saying you need to reframe it. So I like to go to the gym. I go to the gym. All right. So when you work out, also run. So I work out and I run, and do other things. But those are two of the things that I do the most. Right. And if you also are a gym rat, you know that lifting weights is a challenge. Running miles in the sand is a challenge. Up and down stairs, it's a lot. But you also know, if you engage in those activities, that, man, you grow so much. I mean, of course, you grow physically, but just mentally, embracing that challenge of lifting those weights and running those miles and those steps. It's a lot. But man, it creates such a respect for yourself because you face it and you deal with it. You go through it and you overcome it. And so, which is point two, as you begin to embrace the challenge and you look for the lesson, look for the good in the challenge, that's how you begin to grow, which goes right into point three. And point three, very simply, is in that particular situation, when you get to the growth, you feel like, wow, I've earned this. Right, I went through all this stuff, and I've reached this goal. I've been through all these challenges, and I met them. I didn't always have success at each individualized challenge, but I kept moving. Right, keep on moving, as the song says. You kept getting up. You kept facing it. You kept swinging at it. You kept running. You kept hitting those steps. You kept pushing that weight. And what it does is that it leads to you having more just self-confidence, and you are shining brighter because you have such a internal fortitude that begins to shine through. And so that is going to attract people in your life who are going to want to work with you and help you and be down with you and be a support to you. In our experience, it takes a great team to really have great success. So boom goes the dynamite. That's all for today's show. We are each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. and then 4:45 p.m. here on Facebook Live. We'll see you this afternoon. So until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.